Holla! I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and this episode is a special video, being that today, Wednesday, is preview day of Comic Con. So we thought we would discuss, being that it's going full blown in the next couple days, what we'd like to see at Comic Con. There's a lot of kind of stuff there. There's going to be a showcase of the Batman and Harley Quinn animated film, and you don't like that. There's a
Yeah,
lot of kind of they have like a few things where you can go and watch like random films. I think the Iron Giant's on and stuff like that. But it's like, could you imagine like going to Comic Con and just sitting down watching some cruddy film you could watch on DVD for like 2 hours? Uh,
true, but it is becoming like something they seem to be adding to Comic Con now. There's a lot of competitions coming up for Comic Con. Marvel and Disney have got their own thing, D23, whatever that is. But they had, I think, was it last year or the year before, they screened that new Trek movie there for the first time.
Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek. I think Beyond.
Oh,
I think it premiered there.
I
So
know.
it seems to be something that, obviously this is a less big a deal than Star Trek Beyond, but maybe it's something they can do to get crowds still invested, I guess.
No. I think they're screening the first episode of The Gifted as well. I do believe the new X
Oh,
Men.
the X-Men thing, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. I think see, that's good, because really the screening the Batman and Harley Quinn film is just like whatever. You know what I mean? It's just a
Yeah,
one-time
that's,
thing.
I think they did that for the Kidding Joke thing as well, and out of last year.
No, so it's more relevant to do something like the first episode of Gifted, purely because then we can kind of get a gist of you know what I mean, whether it's going to be good or not. I can't imagine it being bad, I guess,
That could be
really.
bad.
Well, no, because Legion was good. Generally,
That's
when
true.
Fox gets hold of something like that, it ain't too bad. Really, ABC is the one you want to look out with, especially if Fox were the one who did the Inhumans, then you'd start to panic a bit.
And well, ABC, they're a confusing bunch. They're difficult. Obviously they did Lost for a while. That was great, and they've had some decent shows. And Shield, I think has had probably one of the better seasons it's had in my memory. Anyway, I don't think I've seen season three, but out of the first four, I think the last one was probably the best. But if you have a hit and miss track record, and Humans does look dodgy, hopefully it's better than the trailers have been showing. I wonder if are they screening the Humans at Comic Con?
Nah, because it's all for the IMAX event, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's weird. I still don't get my head around that either.
Yeah. So, right, moving on from that. Generally, it's the DC and Marvel things you want to kind of look out for. What are you expecting from the DCEU?
A lot. They're going heavy on JLA. They've got to.
Well, the thing is, I think they're gonna go heavy, full stop, purely because I'm thinking, if we just digress a minute, there's, I mean, there's got to be a Justice League. Forget that train of thought. Actually, we'll just carry on with this. Yeah, there's got to be a second Justice League trailer. It comes out in November. It is now July. So yeah, the second trailer's definitely got to come out. I'm wondering if it's going to be a little special extended trailer and stuff like that. I mean, the Batman versus, no, I mean, they did a little bit of footage of Comic Con last year, so I'm thinking there's got to be a big Justice League trailer. What are you expecting to see from that?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, probably more Wonder Woman. I imagine because Wonder Woman's been such a success, they're going to go heavy on Wonder Woman. I don't know. It might be too early for the Joss Whedon stuff. I don't know how that works. Is he going to be there? Maybe there's going to be some conversations about how that's going to work. I imagine there's probably going to be talk of Aquaman as well.
I think they'll be. I mean, they're way into shooting Aquaman. I'm expecting to see some footage. I wonder if they're gonna do what they did with. See, the problem is because we don't really know. You've got to expect all the people from Justice League are being there. Now, Joel Kinnaman was running his mouth about apparently Suicide Squad's meant to be filming. Uh, uh, I mean, there's rumours about casting. Do you think there's going to be a big like, oh, by the way, these are the people we're going to introduce? Because I think I forget her name, which is really kind of annoying now. But the blonde girl from the girl on the train, do you know that Emily Blunt thing?
Yeah,
The girl who wasn't Emily Blunt, she
I
is,
haven't seen it before.
yeah, she's meant to be. There was like rumours swirling around that she was meant to be Catwoman in the Gotham City Sirens. Josh,
Okay, I haven't seen it. I don't know who she is, but how old is she?
she's nice looking.
How old is she though?
I think
It's not.
she's.
It's not an ages thing. I think she should be older. Ben Affleck's nearly 50. You can't have Catwoman who's like 19 or however old she is.
Um,
What is she? At least like 35 or something.
1 second. I'm just checking that. Haley Bennett, her name is. Um, you're looking for 35. I don't think.
At least
29.
29.
Yeah,
Jesus
but it's
Christ.
only that I think that got brought up once and was never brought up again. Um,
What?
but that's like saying how old is Harley Quinn meant to be?
That's not. He's the Joker. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, isn't he? Who cares about him? But this is Batman. Presumably, Batman and Catwoman have been doing their thing for what, at least 15 years or so by this point.
See, that's the whole problem with the kind of bringing it straight in and making him about 50. We've kind of got no. I mean, Nightwing. I mean, really, I mean, Josh Gad. Apparently, they're swirling around him meant to be being talks for Penguin. Then I think
Uh,
recently it came out that Matt Reeves has completely threw out the Ben Affleck script and they're working a script from that. So does the
which
Penguin?
throws into question the whole Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke thing as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean the fact that I mean these talks with Josh Gad were kind of recent, so I'm thinking, is that kind of being incorporated into the new thing, or is that
I'm
getting
not convinced
completely cut
about
off
that.
again? So the whole Batman thing's a bit up in the air. So yeah, I think they're going to focus on Justice League. Um, if they do Justice League, knowing that Aquaman's after it, are they going to be able to show kind of footage from that, being that they're going to be showing footage from Justice
Oh
League as
yeah, of
well?
course it can. Well, Aquaman's not going to die when he's got a movie coming out, so you can show him in Atlantis doing stuff, can't you? You just can't spoil that movie. As
Yeah.
long as you don't have Ocean Master die or something, you're fine.
In terms of I mean, there's still no thing on like the Flash. I mean, a little update on the Flash in terms of villain. We kind of know
So
what we know everything that's happening with Aquaman. We know who's going to be in it, everyone who's been cast and stuff like that. I wonder if they might as well just do a panel with Aquaman, but we don't know anything about the Flash except the Cyborg's going to be in it. We don't know who the villain's going to be. We kind of know nothing now about the kind of Batman thing. Do you think there's going to be a little flash? Are we going to see a black suited Superman? Even how would you feel about seeing Steppenwolf? Only seeing him. I mean, we're all.
Steppenwolf is fine. I know they're going to change up the appearance, but whether he looks the same or not, we've already kind of seen him in the deleted scene anyway. So do what you want, show him. In fact, showing Steppenwolf is not the same as showing Doomsday in that Batman v Superman trailer. That was a massive spoiler. We know Steppenwolf is the villain, so they can show him just fine. Black Suit Superman, I'm in two minds about it. Part of me thinks, oh, I'll save the surprise for the movie, but then part of me also thinks it's not a surprise. We all know he's coming back, so damn. I think you're probably damned if you do, damned if you don't with that one. But I'm not particularly bothered by it.
Yeah. See if that Zack Snyder's there, which I don't think is gonna be. It, in my head, I feel that he gets super gassed on Superman. I feel like Superman's probably his favourite, being that probably did Man of Steel, but I think in general, because he always gets gassed on Superman no matter what happens. So I think if he was there, he'd bring that up. The question of Joss Whedon being there, my thought would be looking to the future. Batgirl.
Mm.
Is he going to bring up anything like that? Is he going to be like, look, I mean, just in like passing, oh yeah, I'm working on a script, I've got a few bits there. I don't think there'll be any casting on that. Really, I wonder if The Rock will be there.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing with the last we heard, Black Adam and Captain Marvel, Shazam were getting split into two different movies or something, weren't they? Some crap like that. Basically, this whole thing outlines that out of all the movies left to come, now we've had Wonder Woman and we've had the Superman, Man of Steel, whatever you want to call it. The Aquaman movie is the only stable one out of all of them. Everything else is a bloody mess at this point, or at least it looks to be anyway.
Well, I've kind of no idea about Green Lantern, but that's not even going to come out till 2020, so I ain't too fussed about that. But really, I'm expecting some sort of casting thing for Shazam, Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call him. I figure if The Rock goes, then it makes sense to have a Shazam being there and having them talk about it. In the same light as in if we go over to Fox, I was going to say, hello Gambit. I'm surprised no one ever, because I have the little Q&A thing. It like annoys me, I guess, that no one ever goes up there and like asks the pertinent question. People always go on there and they're always like, "Oh, what's it like working with such a great team and having you all together and stuff like that, and bringing all the characters
True,
together."
but I don't know how it works at Comic Con, but it strikes me at San Diego Comic Con is such a big deal. It might be one of those things where the questions are vetted before they actually get to ask them.
Yeah, but
anyone who wants to ask something like that, it's like no.
Yeah, but
If you try, they'll shut you down straight away.
Damn it. So yeah,
you can't just hold them at ransom and say answer my question, Paul. That's not gonna happen.
I don't know. So yeah, my thoughts on that casting and stuff like that, DC, because Marvel had a thing. I think it was last year or the year before, where they literally brought that you had the normal Marvel team on there, then you had the Spider-Man Homecoming, then you had the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you had them all on the stage together, and then they brought out Brie Larson. So I'm wondering, really, DC can't do that because all they've got is there. I mean, will they bring in the better halves, as it were? Will they bring in Iris West, Amber Heard? I wouldn't see why Amber Heard wouldn't be there for Aquaman, because I mean they're shooting and stuff like that. Whether the directors are going to come out and say stuff, but really, I mean, I'd like an update on Suicide Squad. Whether it is the second one is actually going to be getting done, is there like going to be director talk? What's going on with Gotham City Sirens? Is there any casting on that? And what's popping with Batgirl? So that's my big thing for DC.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up. Like I said, we know what they're definitely going to talk about, which is everything that's going well, i.e. JLA and Aquaman, and then everything else kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I think they'll come out blasting purely because of Wonder Woman. If Wonder Woman was like 40 and 50 in terms of like scores and stuff like that, and it did whatever, you'd expect them to be. Even then, I'd expect them. I'd want them to come out all guns blazing to like instill confidence.
As far as Wonder Woman goes herself, I think it's probably too early for talks about Wonder Woman 2. I think all we know is that it's set in the 80s, maybe it's set in the 80s, and Chris Pine's coming back. I don't know spoilers, but I don't quite know how that works. Actually, not spoilers, if you haven't seen it, let's face it, it was set in World War One, and this one's in the 80s, so how was Pine in it?
Well, I heard it was going to be modern day, and I know Chris Pine signed on for 3 films. So, would that count? Say little flashes in Wonder Woman. I mean, you're gonna see Barry and his dad. You're gonna see Aquaman and Mira. You're gonna have Lois Lane doing her thing. I'd expect Chris Pine to kind of be in that for a little bit, like the modern day Steve Trevor and stuff like that. Because I mean, you've got to have them like doing their thing in little flashes.
You think it's gonna be like Captain America, except instead of getting a different actress, you know how they had Peggy, and then you had what's her face, Sharon, right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it'll be like that, except instead of getting a different actress or actor in this case, they're just going to use Chris Pine for both roles, like he's the modern day descendant.
Yeah, well, it's like in Spider-Man: Homecoming, the principal is like the same guy who was the same kind of Japanese guy who was in the first film. Do you know he
Well,
had like
the
his
Howling Command.
yeah, and there was that Japanese guy. Well,
Okay.
the exact same actor is playing the principal in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and he's got a picture on his desk of like his grandpa, who's him in the old film as well. So they kind of connect that. I figure if it's three films, does like a little brief little flashback thing or like modern day thing of her with him. Um, Kind of, but it don't make sense either because she lost him and then she kind of went into self-imposed exile. So for it kind of wouldn't make sense if she kind of was hanging around with like a descendant of Steve Trevor now. I'd figure she'd have to bump into him at some point.
I still question if there's more to it. I still, in my head, Chris Pine is still too big of a star for someone on to be some love interest. I've got to wonder if the modern day descendant really is like a Green Lantern or something.
Well,
Maybe.
Hal Jordan. See, it
Why
don't
not?
work. It doesn't kind of work the descendant thing anyway because I mean, he didn't have any kids or anything like that. He was like a single guy, I guess. He didn't have no girlfriend in Wonder Woman or anything like that. He was about
Yeah,
30, so I don't think he had.
but it
And
was the war, though, wasn't it? He could have been having it off with someone before he met her.
I think maybe it'd just be one of them things that I don't know. Maybe it's Hal Jordan, and he just happens to look exactly like Steve Trevor, and that gets Wonder Woman going.
Maybe.
For lack of a better term, something like that. Who knows? But three films. I mean, okay, let's put him. Because I mean, really, it wasn't definite there was going to be a Wonder Woman sequel at the time. So I mean, yeah, if they threw a little bit in Justice League, that's thing. But what's with the next one? Maybe it's
Well,
Green Lantern. Moving over to Fox. I guess they'll show a little more Inhumans footage. Not hot on that. I know you're not hot on it either. They're making this whole
and that Marvel.
okay, Marvel in general. We'll move from DC. We'll go into Marvel. I mean, if we go to the DC TV shows, when they show the little showcases of Legends of Tomorrow and blah blah blah, do you think Mon-El's gonna pop in it? Do you think we'll probably get a first look at Rain in Supergirl? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, on what I've seen so far, I think at the moment they're shooting Supergirl. So I don't know whether they'll. I mean, they say there's previews of it. So I mean, today, Wednesday, the previews of Krypton and something else. So yeah, I mean, will they show that Mon-El's going to be in Legends of Tomorrow? I expect that to be a tidbit at the end. In terms of the Flash, it'll be whether there's been a time jump, which I guess there will be. Arrow, I think they're showing a little preview of that as well, but I don't think that'll confirm who's dead and who's alive. But I mean, it's got to, because I mean, if it shows a little sizzle reel for what they've done so far, you got to think it's not going to be some 2-minute thing speculating who's dead and alive. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but there is a way you can just focus on Oliver, I guess, and just do the show called Arrow. There's no way you can't. You can maybe do that as far as Mon-El goes. I mean, that's not confirmed or anything. I know that's the first thing that went through my head at the end of spoilers. You don't see the end of Supergirl, but when he left
Well, you
wherever
told
he
me
went,
he's contracted, so he's got to pop up
I did
somewhere.
not. I didn't tell you that at all. I said that was my idea, that if he's popping off somewhere, maybe he'll go to another show, and I think it ties in with the whole Mon-El joins the Legion thing. This can be his version of the Legion, so why not? I think that'd be a cool thing to do, but I don't know. I'm never too particularly interested with these teaser things that they do at Comic-Con for the TV shows. I'd rather just wait for the first episode and get going.
Okay, let's move on to Marvel then. I mean, they're doing Infinity War at the D23. They showed some footage.
Which
Now,
everyone is banging on about.
So what?
Everyone's banging on about that trailer they showed.
Yeah. So I figured they're probably going to show it at Comic Con again. But there's more chance of it being leaked. So that's the good news. That's what I'm kind of pipping it all on, that it's going to be leaked. I wonder if they're going to step up because of the Suicide Squad debacle last year. Or was it the year before?
What do you mean?
I can't remember, but there was like that they showed a thing, and then it got leaked, and then they kind of got rid of it all, and then released like a high def version like a day later. They're like, oh, we're gonna put our foot down with all this leaking stuff, and then literally like a day later they released it HD. So do you think they're gonna step stuff up now? In terms of like video recording in the hall, so the stuff won't be leaked. That'll
They've
be
done that
annoying.
already. If it shows at Comic Con, it will be out soon. You can't keep it contained at Comic Con.
Yeah.
I whether they show the same trailer, I'm not sure, but I think they'll probably show maybe a shortened version of it. They've done that before. I can't remember what movie it was, but they showed They showed semi-cut D23, and then they showed like a cut down version at Comic Con. I think they'll probably do the same thing there.
I figure everyone's going to be there, because I was going to say something about Black Panther with the trailer coming up, but I think because they're all in Infinity War, they'll all be there for Infinity War anyway, whether they kind of spin off and like talk about their own separate things for like a couple minutes. I don't think Brie Larson will be there because Captain Marvel's not really popping off. I wonder if the Guardians will be there, or whether one or two members will be there.
I think Batista is at D23. He might be there.
Yeah, so I figured Downey Jr. is going to be there. Tom Holland's going to be there because Tom Holland's everywhere, you know what I mean, at the moment. He's just going to everything. So I figured
Oh yeah, it makes sense anyway. His movie's still at the box office, isn't it?
Josh Brolin will be there purely because I think there's probably going to be a Deadpool, because I know they're starting to do it now. So, I mean, he came out at D23 with the kind of his boys, and he's got the kind of Cable look going. He's got the side shaved and the bit on top, so he'll probably be there for the Thanos thing, because that's the big feature, because that's what they did on D23. They brought him out and he was kind of leading the pack and stuff, so I figure he'll be there and he'll pop over and do the Deadpool stuff as well. In terms of Cable, I figure X-Men are filming now, so they might. I'm hoping they confirm what the film's actually called, because I'm still not too hot on the Dark Phoenix thing.
Yeah, but
The
it may
title
not
of
be
the
the
film.
best sounding name, but it is like the legendary name of the comic and whatnot. It's the big X-Men story that most people know, or at least have heard of. So they'll probably keep the title, I think.
Yeah, I'm wondering if any of the Fox people are gonna say anything about the Fantastic Four. I mean, that film came out a while ago. I'm wondering if they're gonna be like, look, we're giving it another shot. If they're gonna come out and drop
The
it.
last we had was the rumours about the ones focused on the movie focused on the kids or something, right? I don't know if they're going to talk about that at some point. Fox are going to have to make a decision pretty soon. We know they had that rule where they have to make a movie after a certain amount of time anyway, otherwise they lose the right back to Marvel. You brought up Gambit earlier.
They've got to say something. They have to now.
They dug a real hole for themselves with Gambit though, didn't they? I think last Comic Con, the one before, wherever it was, when they brought all the X-Men actors out and he was there when they Channing Tatum. But the budget and everything that went with it, if you don't know, that when Gambit was announced, there was a big talk that it was going to have like a $200 million budget, which is insane. And then after that, Deadpool came out for about 45 million, something like that, and crushed it. So if it gets made, I'll be surprised, and B, no way in hell are they getting that budget now. It might be maybe they'll throw Gambit into one of these X-Men movies, but is that something Channing Tatum wants to do, be a supporting player? I don't know, so we'll see. I'm not holding my breath on it now.
Yeah, it kind of wouldn't make. I mean, they'd have to throw him into a modern day one, because a Gambit film would be modern day. Yeah, 200 million.
They'll
Crazy.
do away. Yeah, it's crazy. They'll do away. Forget the whole whoever that dude was, Taylor Kitsch, and the old timeline. They'll bring Gambit into modern day.
Yeah.
I guess isn't the new X-Men set in the 80s, isn't it?
90s.
The 90s.
The
Okay.
last one was the 80s, so this is going to be kind of 90s. Is there anything else you feel strongly about?
What, from Fox or Marvel? I
Fox,
don't.
Marvel, Sony. Do you think Tom Hardy's going to be there?
For what?
Oh, I don't
Oh,
know.
Venom. That's Sony, isn't it? Venom. No, I don't.
Silver Sable
No,
and Black Cat. Any talk of
no,
that? So you don't think Sony's going to pop up and say anything?
no, I don't. I think Sony are counting their money as far as Spider-Man's concerned at a minute, and they're going to leave it there for now.
And so that's it. Nothing else.
I think so. Is the Defenders going?
Yeah, all the Defenders are going to be there. There's got to be another trailer for that because all we've got is a 2 minute thing. Gifted, the whole episode's going to be there. Legion, is Legion going to kind of pop up and have anything on that for the second season? 'Cause
Yeah,
that should
that'll
be
be
coming out
interesting.
soon.
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that works time-wise. Might be another 5-6 months from now. Because at this point we don't really know what direction it's going. Legion, like, where is it going to go for season 2? We have no idea. To be fair, we didn't really know where it was going for most of season 1, and that was still great. So it'll be interesting to see though. Are they adding any cast members? Have they lost anyone? I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah. So that's it for Marvel, yeah.
I do believe so. Unless
Yeah.
I'm forgetting.
So another big thing in terms of films. I don't think it's confirmed whether anyone's going to be there, but it has to be the Dark Universe.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's what I wanted to get to.
that's interesting.
The Mummy was a flop, and if you
Well,
don't class it,
flop strong. It didn't make anywhere near enough. I suppose flop isn't too strong. A bomb would be too strong a word. It made money, but definitely not what they wanted.
in terms of if you were an executive, you'd view it as a flop, right? Because you were seeing dollar signs, yeah.
At best, at absolute best, it's a disappointment.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the big launching thing. I mean, really, I wonder if they'll bring out people. I figure that they've got a kind of, they can't just stay silent. I mean, if they brought Johnny Depp out, if they brought out Angelina Jolie, who else is supposed? Tom Cruise, if they brought him out, but I don't know where that'd fit in.
I don't see Tom Cruise going. I don't see Johnny Depp going.
Well, I mean, really, based off that, they've got to come out with something because it's all over the shop so far. They're announcing, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, but the Mummy, and then really, there's no kind of direction for it in the whole kind of Dark Universe. I mean, in terms of if you look at the other kind of shared combined universes, the Kong Godzilla thing, Godzilla versus Kong or Kong versus Godzilla, that's like been announced, and that's going to feature the big moth, the three-headed dragon, and all those kind of monsters. So that looks like it's kind of Pip in the head, because they kind of do average, I guess, and they just push forward anyway, really, because I don't think nothing's going to beat the kind of, the Peter Jackson King Kong thing. But I mean, Kong Skull Island, I was expecting that to be kind of like a big film, but I don't think it did like amazingly. I think it just did okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did alright. I think it beat the Mummy, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of pushing forward and stuff like that. So they're pushing on strong.
I think they put in plenty of stock in the fact that if you stick them both in the same movie, it will mean bank, and they're probably right. They're taking the Batman v Superman approach.
Exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah. So really, kind of, I'd be worried if I didn't bring anything out on the Dark Universe, because really, no one's interested in it. So if they stay silent, that's gonna kill it slowly even more. If they
no one is interested, but I will say, and we've talked about this before, and I'm not convinced it's a good idea, but in their defense, what I will say is all it takes is a good movie. Look at Wonder Woman. People now suddenly, yay, bring on DC, JLA, all that crap. So you get a good movie out there, great, but What's it going to be? Who knows?
I feel if they come out and don't say anything, I think that means they're gonna like on the down low kill it off.
At this point, I don't think they can. I think once now you've signed, I mean, they must be paying money already to Tom Cruise and Depp and Javier Bardem and whoever else they got. So
I
they
don't think
got
it's confirmed as being
who?
what is it?
Javier, what's his name?
Bardem.
I don't know. Yeah, he was in the picture. I forget who he was playing though. He was in the photo.
Oh, he must be playing the Wolfman. Let's be serious.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's good for the actors, but not so good for the studio if they're getting paid. But yeah, I feel like if they don't come out with anything, I mean, they've got to generate interest, man. They've got to put everything into generating interest. If they don't come out, I think they're going to kill it on the down low. I really do think they are.
I mean, yeah, it's just a question of how do you do it? How do you get people invested in something they've seen over and over and over again? I'm not too sure.
Bring out a bunch of big names and promise it's going to be groundbreaking. You know, drop a chronology, what's popping, when it's going to happen, what characters are actually in there, confirm. Be like, look, we're definitely having these guys you see on stage, but we're also definitely having the creature from the Black Lagoon. We're definitely having the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Phantom of the Opera. Get hyped. And there's going to be a lot of clapping, but then when it comes down to it, none of those people are going to see the panel or actually going to go and see the film.
Probably not. No.
No. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. What else is popping? I'm trying. That's literally it in terms of film and the TV. I wonder if there's going to be any announcement for Scalped, the kind of Native American Vertigo DC Comics TV show. There's definitely going to be a showcase for Black Lightning and Krypton. That's today. So really, for them, I want the announcement dates, because both of them are apparently coming in 2018. I'd like to know when they're actually coming, and whether they're going to show the Krypton thing again, the trailer thing, and be like, look, it got leaked a while ago, but this is like whatever, or whether they show new footage or anything. But it looks pretty far along in terms of filming and stuff like that.
I would like some clarification on what Krypton is. At this point, I'm still confused.
I figure if they bring out the, do you think they'll just show like a trailer, whether what preview night is, whether they just show like a bunch of things and then say nothing about it, or whether they bring out the people as well? If they bring out the people as well, then they're gonna have to talk about it. You know what I mean?
I'm not. Although I don't, like I say, I'm confused about what the show is. I'm not going to sit here and say and hope it's bad. You know, I like Superman. I want it to be good, but the fact that they took down that trailer, even if you didn't want it out there, the fact he was so desperate for people not to see it concerns me. Like, how bad must it have been?
I saw it and I thought it was kind of cool. There wasn't much talking and stuff like that. There was a lot of visual stuff. I mean, it looked kind of cool.
Why take it down then? Why be? I know I get you don't want people to see it, but once it's out there, why? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but it's one of them things where it got took down, and then I looked for it like elsewhere and I couldn't find it anywhere either, so it's proper like, no, I guess people thought, there's no point making copies or posting it elsewhere because it's like out there, you know what I mean? And then when it got pulled, people kind of for lack of a better term, caught with their trousers down, because people were like, oh damn it, it's literally gone, I can't find it anywhere, which is kind of annoying because I only watched it once and then I was going to talk to you about it, and when it came to it I was like, oh, where's it gone? Damn thing. So
maybe some clarification what that is, maybe some talk about how they're going to handle the Superman question, and because that's whether this show is on for 5 weeks and they get killed straight away, or it goes 10 years like Smallville did, they're going to get questions about Superman over and over again, just like what Smallville's going on. When's he going to fly? When's he going to put the suit on? When's Batman going to show up? So that's the questions they're going to get, and obviously it's about Superman's granddad, so it's never going to happen. So how are they going to handle that? How are they going to get that through to people? Who knows?
My issue would be, what's the plot line's going to be? What's the main, the main villain, as it were? What's that going to be? Because really, from my knowledge of like Krypton in general, not the TV show, just Krypton in general, I'd imagine it'd just be a bunch of like civil wars and stuff like that, like things attacking them. Because leading up to, I mean, really, if you've got Zod and Jor-El, if you kind of lead into that, it wouldn't be far off. There's a bunch of wars going on. Obviously, it'd have to showcase their the kind of stuff in their science stuff and military guild and stuff like that. But it's like, what is it going to be? Would you have Brainiac attack or something like that?
No, you can't, can you? Sure. If you have Brainiac attack, it's going to be like shows that.
Would you have the creation of Doomsday? I mean,
God no. This is half the problem. You start doing that, you might as well. It's like when everyone showed up by season 7 of Smallville. Basically, all his villains are there, and you're like, why aren't you Superman yet? Then what's the point? That's what confuses me about why make it about the grandparents.
Because that's probably all they could get, and they're probably like, great, we've got something.
Maybe. Because surely you just make, if you can, you just make a show about Zod and Jor-El, and then you have a built-in end to the show. You can imagine that finale. That's great. The planet blows up, and Superman flies off, and Zod is in prison. It's great. You've got a great finale already built in wherever you get cancelled. So why they're making it about them, I don't know. Maybe they have the answers for that.
Maybe that's their big plan. Maybe it runs for a couple of whatever, and then literally it shows Drew, Zod, and Jor-El growing up from little kids into teenagers into adults. Then it has the Kryptonian Civil War, and then it kind of leads on from that. Maybe like only the first 2 or 3 seasons are going to have that messing about, and then really it's going to focus on them. I don't think
so. They're going to be quite young, aren't they? I think the actors playing their parents are relatively young, so the kids, if they're in it, are going to be young. And even if you're right, then my concern's going to be the same way I feel about Gotham, which is when I sit here and think, there's Bruce Wayne, I want you to grow up now and be Batman. I'm going to be sat waiting for the most interesting characters to actually become interesting.
Well,
to me. I said, we haven't seen it, maybe I'm wrong, and it's awesome.
I think Gotham generally kind of goes there in terms of TV, so I'm kind of looking forward to that, because I thought the finale was pretty cool, so I'm interested in where he's going to go now. Because I figure little Bruce Wayne's pretty much, I'm trying to how far he is with his training and stuff like that, whether there'll be a time jump on that as well. Maybe that'll skip forward like a year or something, a couple years.
I don't know, can you do that? I don't think they would have recast the kid, do they?
It'd work out better. No, they don't really have to.
Well, you do. You're still going to look. You can't. If you do a time jump now to 3 years, you don't look 18, do they?
Nah, not 3 years. Maybe like 6 months or something. Because you got to have Jim and Harvey like settling back to like beating the streets. You got obviously Cyrus Gold in his coma. You got to have Bruce like cross some sort of training, because he kind of started it for a couple of episodes, and then a bunch of other stuff happened. Then Bruce kind of started beating the streets. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thoughts on that. A time jump would be good for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Look forward to Comic-Con the next couple of days. Really, the DC and Marvel stuff, it's all popping off on Saturday.
Is Star Wars going?
It's got to, right?
I don't know,
because the film comes out this year.
Yeah, but they had D23 and Star Wars had their own thing, didn't they?
Yeah, I didn't really look into anything from Star Wars, because I'm kind of...
Not much came out there, really, just a trailer, and that was about
it. Yeah, a bunch of posters and stuff like that. I figure whatever happened at D23, they're just going to drop at Comic-Con.
Probably. Celebration, that's what it's called, isn't it? Star Wars Celebration, yeah, so I doubt there'll be much of Star Wars. I think that's about it, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else that really... Nothing else really tickles my fancy.
I know there was that talk of this like Netflix surprise thing. I don't know what that is, but I imagine it will be disappointing.
What do you mean Netflix surprise?
Well, there was that panel, wasn't it? There were going to be this surprise like Netflix. They're airing something, but we don't know what it is.
I'm trying to think. I guess they'd have to drop another trailer for Stranger Things, because all we got is that really tiny, like 30-second tidbit. It comes out in October, so I figure we should get a trailer for that. Voltron, but I think that's Castlevania. I know I said that wrong, but I don't care.
You sure did.
Castlevania. And what else are they doing?
Well, Dracula is the lead, I suppose you can get away with that. What else are they doing? I don't know. Gilmore Girls? I doubt that's going to show up. I wish it
Oh,
would do.
that would be cool if they make an announcement on it. But yeah, really, there's kind of, I'm thinking about DC, and there's a lot that could happen, but really the fact they ain't got no directors and stuff like that, they kind of screw. But I'd like it if, like, whoever came out, someone substantial's got to, like, go there, like, above Joss Whedon and be like, look, Suicide Squad, we're doing that next year. Aquaman's going okay. Flash, we're doing that in a couple months. Gotham City Sirens is definitely happening.
Well,
Batgirl's
Jeff
definitely.
Johns will be there, won't he? He's kind of like the Feige, I guess, of the DCWB, whatever you call it now. So he'll be deciding that, I suppose.
Yeah, so I want him to come out and say that. Mel Gibson, that would be pretty cool if he shows up.
Don't do it, Mel. Don't do it.
Well, he ain't got fuck all on at the minute, pardon my French, but he ain't got nothing on, so I mean, they've got to come out and, like, be like, look, this is what's
Oh,
happening.
I think isn't he doing like an Apocalypto 2 or something, or that Crop Jesus movie, Passion 2, whatever you call it.
I got no idea.
I think he's doing a sequel to the Passion of the Christ.
But
After
I mean,
that, anyway.
it'd be a pretty bit. I mean, if Mel Gibson was properly actually doing Suicide Squad 2, I mean, if Joel Kinnaman's saying it's all hot to go, I mean, you've got to figure that they've got all the pieces in place to get it done. So, I mean, whether it's David Ayer's going to come out again or whether Mel Gibson's going to come out, something like that. But I figure if they confirm Suicide Squad's coming out, they've got to confirm the director as well. Because it can't be one of them things, right, we're doing it next year, but we haven't got a director yet. They can't do that because that's just outrageous. You know what I mean?
Well, fair, I won't be out of character for what WWE have done so far, though, with all these bloody announcements. Remember they announced that slate of all those movies, and that changed within about 2 months.
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ? Is that what they made? Was it
The Passion of the Christ.
Last Temptation? Oh, that was Scorsese, wasn't it? Oh, never mind.
So,
Last Temptation of the Christ was the one with Scorsese made.
Really, I think they've got to build up Justice League purely because if it does the same as Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, they've got to build up enough hype that even if it does go like that, it still makes 700 million. You know what I mean? Because Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman, and Wonder Woman have both made like high $700 million. So really, they're looking for that one to break $1 billion, and Justice League's going to be it. But they need it to be, if it's as good as Wonder Woman as it were, maybe slightly a little worse. Because I mean, I think Wonder Woman's still holding like low 90s on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah. If it does that, it'll crash like $1.5 billion I rate, but it's got to be a big film, man. And even if
$1.5 billion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my projections for it.
I don't know about that.
I think it's going to be big. So really, I mean, even if it does bomb, as it were, or not do as good in terms of reviews, I've got to get at least enough hype that it's still going to make 700 million.
I think it's guaranteed to make 700 million even if it's terrible. Suicide Squad was terrible, and that made a crap ton, in my opinion. And that made a crap ton of money, so there's no way it won't.
Yes, going in. So yeah, that's unless you can think of anything else. That's in our personal opinion what we demand from Comic-Con.
Sure. I think that's about it. There's probably something we're missing, but I think we've got all the big stuff.
Yeah. So I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And this is a Superhero Hub, and we will do coverage. We will update you. Our noses will be hot to the presses that if anything comes out, we're going to give you all the details. See you for whatever we're doing next. Cool.